Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is AetherTech, and today I'm going to be showing you a slightly familiar but still new creation. If you have seen any other of my videos, all of my two viewers, the front portion of this may look familiar, and that's because it is. But this is a new gunship design I'm working on. The original design is actually quite old and is a paper drawing and then a 2D line drawing in MS Paint, and then somebody eventually made a 3D model for me, and then I imported that into Space Engineers a long time ago with SE Toolbox, and I've been kind of slowly grinding through it for many years. So the front of this is not quite what I had planned out. In fact, none of it really is, but it does somewhat match the original design in terms of overall shape, loosely. It's not perfect, but it's kind of the best that I can do. So it is a gunship, at least in my verse. It is armed with 6 dual railgun turrets. These are just custom turrets, which I stole off the other build, the Shuriken Space Station. And then it has a variety of autocannons and assault cannon turrets. Just kind of dotted around. Most of these are possibly temporary placements. The only ones that are permanent are probably going to be these angled or sloped turrets on the sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. But overall, I mean, it's a reasonable shape. Somebody called it an arrowhead. I was kind of modeling it after I gave up multiple times and came back to it recently, kind of modeling it off the Bellator Superstar Destroyer, which in the fractal sponge design has a very kind of muscular, sort of slightly organic arrowhead look to it, which is somewhat out of fashion compared to the other Star Destroyer designs. Other external features include a couple of connectors. There's a large connector on the ventral and dorsal, and then a small connector next to each airlock entrance, port, and starboard. Just thrusters, hydrogen, of course, gotta go fast, all around, top and bottom, and then little winglet extensions out here for some turrets to sit on. And that keeps them protected kind of from incoming fire from the front, where they'd have a hard time shooting back anyway due to all the other stuff in the way, unless they put them really up high. And that's kind of it for the outside. It's unpainted, probably never going to get painted. I just don't have the energy. So let's head on inside and take a look. We're entering in on the port side. It does have gravity because subgrids are cool. So we're going to come in, turn off my light, and turn on the lights for the ship. So this is one of the 2 exterior airlocks. So it's got a couple of lockers, some signage, really basic stuff. I have not gone through in depth and detailed everything. Through this door we have the maintenance access, the forward gyroscopes, and the forward reactors. So there's just 2 rooms with a reactor stuffed with some batteries. And then maintenance accessi into the unfinished portion of the ship, which is to say most of it. There's a gyroscope room here. I needed to do something with the space up front, and this is kind of what I figured was best to do with it. It still needs more gyroscopes. This is nowhere near enough. So moving on from that. Same thing down this side, just another airlock. Everything is buttoned up and it works. Going through this airlock, we come into the, what did I call this? The crew quarters passageway, I believe. 4 cabin passage. Not a great name, but whatever. So coming through here, we have, where's the light switch? Right there. We have a double berth for higher ranking crew members, captain, XO, chief engineer, and I guess whatever the 4th position would be. And they have a private ensuite and a desk, plus lockers. There's a weapon locker here, or rack, weapon rack I should say, and then I used a programming block as a greebling above it for kind of the security keypad. moving over here, we have a triple. Where's the light switch? Light switch. We have a triple bunk with an ensuite and a desk. And this is for the lower ranking crew members. And then of course that is mirrored on this side as well. So, just bilateral symmetry for the crew quarters and everything else essentially. And then double bilateral symmetry for the exterior design, I suppose. And some other things. Here is the bridge. So there's a couple seats in the back, some lights in white and red, and then an unused button. You've got your 4 tactical stations, you've got your pilot station, and then 2 seats next to that for the captain to sit and direct, as well as the seats in the back for just whoever's along, and then of course another bars. There we go. Except you can't reach that now. Oh well, deal with it later. And turn off the light because it does get a little laggy sometimes, so. Turn that off. Going aft of the bridge is just a corridor with lockers. And then we come into the midsection where the subgridded large grid gravity generator is. To the, let's see here, to the port side we have the med bay. So it's got its own little ensuite, 3 beds, 3 cryo chambers, and then storage back here, which is just more lockers. And I based this design as well as the Shuriken space station design off the med bay that I used in the Kalon gunship, which is about twice as large as this one. So same size med base, but this one is more appropriate for the size ship, whereas the Kalon could definitely use a little bit bigger one, but that's a story for a different time and too late now. So the other thing about the med bay is that we got night lights, we got reading lamps, we have surgical lights, and this is my greebling. This is my medbay greebling fancy sci-fi tech stuff. And then we have a desk light, which I should probably change. It's really not covering much. On the starboard side, we have the crew mess. There's 2 tables, 8 chairs, a couple of couches, 2 kitchens, some storage, a serving bar, an extra spot, and then cold storage, which doesn't actually apparently have a button, so I'll fix that later. Pretty basic, nothing fancy. It is, after all, a warship, not a cruise liner. Coming back from that, we have the rear annex, rear aft annex. Annex is a hard word to say, A-N-N-E-X. But to either side of the annex, there is just a access for ventral and dorsal cargo sections, which I have not gotten to yet. But there just be a large area up here, and then another area down here for cargo. And of course, this is my favorite mod right here, which is the ladder mod, which is a great mod. You can find it linked in the workshop page, but it's called DX in parentheses ladder climbable, and it's actually really good because it can have gaps in it, and there's a gap right here. You can just climb right over it most of the time. That was weird. Let's try that again. I might have had to start down. Oh, that's new. What is going on there? Let's try this again. Hold on. This was working. So let's get on it and go up. Huh. That is interesting. That doesn't want to work when I'm recording. I'll have to try that when I'm not recording. It works going down just fine. Let's get up here. Yeah, let's try this going up. Let's let it get on. Huh. I tested that and I know it worked. So So I don't know why it's not working. The only thing I've changed is started recording. But anyway, even if it's just for looks, there's a door up, a door down, cargo up, cargo down, and same thing on this side. And then through the back door is nothing yet, just a bunch of unfinished machinery space. I do not know what I'm going to do with like an engineering room, reactors, additional gyroscopes, hydrogen storage generators, stuff like that. This is just kind of empty for now. Probably for a while till I figure out what to do. But here is all the crew area, kind of just in the middle, with a bunch of empty space around it for all the internals. And my pretty poor, unoptimized conveyor routing. Nothing special there. So that's it for today, and I will see you again next time.